It was to be honest called Chess Chronicles on YouTube. Let me not do that because I said I wasn't gonna do it anymore because I am on YouTube. But I'm saying it right now because I need to, get some more followers here on YouTube because I, have followers on all my other social media platforms. If you look below, you'll see what I'm on. So just go follow that too. But I'm gonna talk about my celebrity encounters, just a few of them, because I've had a lot over the years. That I'm gonna start with one of my most favorite celebrity encounters, which is A-list, and she's still A-list to this day. But most of them, actually, the majority of the people who I've encountered when it comes to, people in that limelight, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, their names, have been, great, when I was there. But I did have one or two encounters, and I was just like, and one that was just like, yeah, somebody pre-warned me before I actually went over there to say something to this woman. I'm gonna say woman, and of course later on in the video you will know who she is. I'm not gonna necessarily say. Should I say her name? I should say her name because a lot of people have said, and there's a lot of stuff has been in social media when it comes to her interactions. If you can guess right now, just go ahead and just drop it in the comment below, and also like the video because I need you to like the video so you can interact with my stuff and say, hey, we know RONOCOLE is here, and it's Ron, RONOCOLE, and no, my real name is Ron, RON. My middle name is O'Brien and Cole. So yes, I am RONOCOLE. So I'm going to talk about the first celebrity, the major celebrity that I encountered. I used to have a friend that worked for Omega Watches, and he brought me on a few trips, with certain things we've done. So I've been on, with him. I've been to Texas twice on these trips. I've been to the Calabarons Ball. And if y'all don't know what the Calabarons Ball is this highfalutin type ball where you people, I think the cheapest ticket was like $2,500, and it's just it's a huge thing because I think it's like for the Cancer Foundation or something like that. They they give away cars, Mercedes, and trucks. I was close to Brooks and Dunn that was performing one year. Moet was there, and that was one of the times I've gotten drunk, and I'm gonna tell y'all about how many times I've gotten real to the point I'm just like, ugh. But yes, that was one of the times I've actually consumed way too much alcohol, because I'm gonna thank you, Moet, because baby, I had a lot that night. But I was also happy we weren't driving anyway. We had a driver, but it was just like, yeah, Moet got me real good. So yes, I'm gonna give you a special shout out to Moet, because y'all got me real good that night, because I had about 10, 15, 16 classes the entire night. But yeah, if you don't know what the Calabarons Ball, it's a huge charity event that that's held at, I think it's still at South Fork Ranch, if I'm not mistaken. It was the place where, if you know, back in the day when it's this whole this soap opera called Dallas, it was like Dynasty, but it's Dallas, country western, oil, real old money, stuff like that. If you go back and you look that stuff up, and you'll see what Dallas is. But we were there at the place where it was filmed at. So I just spit. Please don't know. Anyway, we were there at the place that it was filmed at, and I've been twice. And so that was just like I was like, oh, I'm at a charity event that costs this much. And then, people have sponsors booths there, and they cost thousands of tens of thousands of stuff like that too. But so this first time I went, my friend brought in an ambassador of Omega Watches. I don't know if she's still an ambassador to this day, but she was the supermodel, Cindy Crawford. So yes, I got to hang out with Cindy Crawford and from like, what was that? 10, I'm sorry, no. It was that more because we went to the hotel. So it was about 9 o'clock that morning. And then we broke off probably around about 3 or 4. And then we went out to eat later on that night at a Mexican restaurant in Dallas. It's like this huge Mexican restaurant we had, we went to later on that night. But yes, I got to meet Cindy Crawford back then, and she, I think she's originally from Kansas, so I guess that's a little play into her whole personality. But she was the most personable person that, when it comes to meeting these highfalutin celebrities that I've met. She talked. She she picked up her own stuff. I mean, she was just that personable person that literally, even to this day, I was like, if we were in the same ministry or in the same she would be my actual friend, because she was just so freaking nice. Like when she had a little panel thing, she was speaking, and then also, and it's crazy because I still remember her stylist or hairstylist name, if I'm not mistaken, her name is Fran. And I mean, both of them together, their energy, they were sitting there talking about their stories about going to the Bahamas, doing these photo shoots, getting up here, and I couldn't wake up this day, and all this other stuff. And they were just having just a real good time. And then also with everybody that was in the whole, vicinity, it was just like you were really just talking to another person, like one of your friends or something like that. So I can really commend Cindy Crawford for being the person that she is, because I was talking to her the entire day. And she's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And asked me questions. And I was like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Asked me where I was from." She probably don't ever will remember this. She's met millions of people, but she asked me where I was from. I told her it was Arkansas. She said, "I'm from Kansas." Stuff like that. I said, "Yeah, I've been there." I told you my DNA donor used to live there for a little while. Anyway, but yeah, I've been to Kansas and all this stuff like that. I think that's where she's from. And I don't quote me on that. So we had a conversation of her being from like the Midwest or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And then, Fran came in and she was talking and was having a conversation. Then they was over to the side talking. And then, "Hey, did you want some Western?" And it was just that good type of interaction. I really, am happy I did get to meet her back then. And I see why she's lasted so long in the industry, because she was very, very nice and very personable. Fantasia too. She's a real sweet person. She really is. I've been around her a lot of times. I mean, I was actually on her reality show, the second season of Fantasia for Real 2, when we went to the Hoodie Awards. And it was held in Vegas. We stayed at the hotel in Vegas I think it was a Mirage, the hotel by the Mirage, something like that. But we stayed in the hotel and everything else like that too. But we also we stayed in the Palms hotel in the towers and stuff like that too. So we got to go to one of the, we got to get a little tour of the Fantasy Suite and stayed. I mean, she had that room for the entire day because they gave it to her because she was actually performing on the stage with Snoop Dogg that day. And so, yeah, I was being with Fantasia. She's real sweet, real down to earth, and she's very humble when it comes to dealing with people or whatnot too. And I met her via one of my friends. Well, it's still one of my friends, and they and I got to go along with the whole thing. So I've got to see the whole thing, the happenings behind the reality show, the filming, and all this other stuff like that too. At that time, I met Wendy Raquel Robinson. She was from The Game, one of my favorite shows, and she was real nice too. I like Wendy Raquel Robinson, and then also Judge Mathis. He was cool. He was good and cool. We had a good time that night. That's all I'm gonna say. And then so then let's fast forward. We went to, I forgot what a steakhouse restaurant was, because when we walked up to this whole place, it was in a Palms. It was in a Palms, if I'm not mistaken, hotel in Las Vegas. And we were walking, they were filming and doing some stuff like that too as we were walking into the actual, to the place that we were supposed to eat at. And as soon as we walked up there, I looked over to, we're going to the restaurant. So I looked over to my right. And this is when Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore was together. So they were sitting literally right below where the glass wall was, where we had like this huge big ass buffet, but it was like this glass wall, and they were filming and everything like this too. And I was like there, and they looked over, and I was like, that's Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore. They were sitting like right down there. And so we walked up into the actual space, and had the Palms. I'm going to tell you this right now. The Palms spared no expense for, I don't know why, but they spared no expense when Fantasia got up into that whole area. It was everything there. There was Dom Perignon, there was Moet, there was Louis the something. It was. I was just like, I looked at it, I was like, oh my god. So then, after we're sitting down, we're eating. It was like a spread fit for emperor. I mean, this is an emperor. I'm serious. It was. I mean, it was everything. I had what. Because I love clam. I mean, it was the clams and stuff like that too. Oysters. I'm sorry, oysters. I said clam. Oysters and stuff like that. That's one of my favorite things. These like oysters would put a little lemon juice on there and you may sprinkle some hot sauce. And I know I don't like Tabasco sauce. Give me some regular old Louisiana hot sauce and put it on there. It's good too. But it was a spread for the royal family. I kid you not. So we were sitting down eating and everything else like that too. And of course they were still filming and she was talking. And then there was one of the major promoters that was at the hotel at the time, and was giving her the rundown. They were filming and all this other stuff like that too. And then guess who walks in? Michael Phelps. So yes, Michael Phelps walked into the whole room. I was like, oh, that's Michael Phelps. The Olympic, swimmer and all this other stuff like that at the time. So then Michael Phelps, there really wasn't any room at the what's name. So Michael Phelps walked down and sat right across the table from me. And I'm sitting there looking like, this is Michael Phelps, the Olympic star. I mean, the dude was real cool. I mean, for real. We probably had about 30, 40 minutes interaction because he was eating and drinking and everything else like that too. And we all were, and it was just congregating. And we were filming a lot of stuff that night that happened. But Michael Phelps, I would say that's a good, genuine person too, because he was really cool. I mean, we had a few conversations while we were at the table, and this, about just different subjects like, hey, how you doing? This, y'all going to this, and hey, this is my friend. I mean, what's the name? Oh yeah, y'all know him from what's the name? I was like, no, I was like, I'm a part of the whole entourage thing, kind of thing, so like that. So, but Michael Phelps, real cool. I kid you not, was real cool right back then. So then, let's say, so after that, Fantasia had to go and perform with Snoop Dogg on stage. So she was on stage, and then we came, she got on stage first, and then we probably followed probably like 20 minutes later. And then she was on stage performing with Snoop Dogg. Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher was on the side over there dancing, and just wasn't there. Everybody was just good on their environment because we were like on different sides of the stage. So while she was out there performing or whatnot too, we were over here and they were over there. And then we left after she got through, filming and performing with Snoop Dogg. We went to this club called Club Rain. Y'all know Club Rain is a big ass, huge club, and it was, it was the one of the main clubs to go to back then. But they were filming. I'm sorry, I said we were filming. Fantasia was filming a show, and to do the whole interaction. And we were, we got, the back door through the kitchen, to avoid the crowd and everything else like that too. But then I get in contact. We're coming in, and then who's right beside me? Flavor Flav. Yes, Flavor Flav is real cool too. I'm telling you, he was really nice. He really was. I mean, he was just, we don't talk about 4 or 5 minutes, because we're going up to the area above the stage where the VIP, like the, stadium seating at the very top or something like that too. And we were up there walking. Then I think, did we take an elevator or the stairs? I don't know what it was. But anyway, we got up top. He was, doing his own thing too. But Flavor Flav, hands down, it was very, very, very nice. It really was. So then, now I'm gonna talk about somebody who we just didn't, I didn't have a real good encounter with. Let's just say that. So we were upstairs. It was a few different people, and the only people that really stood out to me, of course, was Fantasia. And then you had Flavor Flav, and I think Snoop come for a little bit. I don't know, but anyhow, we were upstairs, in the whole everything thing, had a little mini spread and drinks and everything else like that too. And then there was one woman that came up. There was one woman that was there. That, let's just say, our interaction wasn't that good. And I'm not saying that this woman is a bad person. She could have just having a bad night or whatnot too. But I was pre-warned by the people in the group not to go over to this person because she's had a kind of a bad reputation in when it comes to meeting people and dealing with people or something like that too. So should I say the name? So I walked over to this because I was like, and it was more the fact of the infatuation because I seen her damn near naked in a movie. I'm just gonna say that. And that night she had on all white, so y'all should know exactly who I'm talking about, Miss Lisa Ray. But anyway, I walked over there and it was just like it was I was like, yeah, hey, because she was talking to somebody. And then I said, hey, how you doing? It's nice to meet you, something like that or whatnot too. She looked at me, she's like, I'm talking. I said, so me being Ron, my whole being just went from, how when it's just like that's how it was, because it took everything in Jesus' name, not to roll off my tongue. I mean, I was about to, who, that's how, and I promise you, because I just stood, honestly, truthfully, I stood there for literally like 5 seconds, and my eyebrow was up like this, and I almost said, and I said, okay. I mean, this is nothing to deal with me. I'm part of an entourage right now. Let me not embarrass anybody, not embarrass myself, not embarrass, since I'm with Fantasia and all the rest of you. Let me not embarrass myself and take my ass back over to the other side, because all the things that Jesus and God and my grandma taught me was about to roll off my tongue. So then I got back over there. And somebody said, see, I told you. And I said, oh, okay, but I'm gonna give it to her, because it wasn't like it was really, really rude, but it was just the way she looked and said it, and I'm just like, if you knew my mouth, I promise you would never in your Jesus name life was said or look up to think you could say something like that to me, because I don't give a damn who you are in this world. You will never, anybody, I don't care, from the president to the king to the queen to the what's name to, you would never talk to me like you would definitely get I don't care if you do something later, but I promise you right then and there, you definitely finna get the whole run. And that's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah. So then we went, from that, the next day we went to the Hoodie Awards, and I seen her. She was in the background. I looked at just like this and just didn't say nothing to her. And when she looked at me, I looked at her. I was like this, whatever. And I haven't said anything, for the entire time, because I probably saw her like 2 other times since, because we were backstage while she was filming, and then Fantasia was actually performing at the show. And of course, Steve Harvey was the actual host. So yeah. That's just a little background on when it comes to my celebrity encounters. I can't believe I actually said this thing, because I usually kind of keep things kind of private. But since I'm doing my YouTube page, I'm going to start revealing a little bit more about me and some things that I've done and some things I've experienced. Believe me, I experienced a whole bunch of stuff. And these stories may come. I may have to leave some names out of this situation, because, I don't really tell when it comes to like intimate, all kind of stuff like that kind of things. But let's just say, in the words of Wendy Williams and her actions too, I have, is that kissed? Lived.